I'm Bruce.
Time to get on target at
The Hub. Here we are. 2020. They always
we
used to
got
say,
2020.
Yeah, they always say hindsight's 2020, but this, what does that mean to the year? This is going to be a good year then.
Everybody's like, oh, you got to dress up as a roaring 20s. You know, the one thing that drives me crazy is everybody's like, oh, we started a new
But
decade.
that wasn't 19.
Everybody's like, we started a new decade. No, technically we didn't.
No.
This is the last year of this decade. We're starting the 20s. That's true. But we started with year one.
Because that's we're in our 20th year.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
Anyways, you got to explain that. So, what we talk about a little bit real quickly, and we'll have to get back with those questions.
Yeah.
We'll do it this week. So we've had a lot of snow. Just to let people know, this is kind of like one of the best snow years we've had in probably 10 years.
Well, last year I remember New Year's Eve and into New Year's, it was we've got dumped on. We got like 2 feet of snow in one night. It was like crazy.
Yeah, but we got a lot of snow this
But we've
December.
got a lot of snow previous to that this year.
And a lot of rain. Ground is wet, good. Forest loves us.
Yep.
So we'll go forward. I thought we were going to do a shoot today, but we're going to start a new shoot next week. You've been bugging me about this, and we've talked about changing how we do the tests.
Yes.
And so I think it's time now, with all this stuff going on now with the news and stuff like that. I think we'll test them probably 2 ways. But if they're designed for a defensive gun, like we're talking about, only defensive gun, we'll test it one way. It'll fall in a category. And then if it's one that could be used for other things, we'll test it a different way.
And the other thing we're going to do is, since we do posting live, but it's not live, I'm going to try to throw it up and see what YouTube says. Because it's interesting that YouTube came up with a new rule that you can't handle a gun live. And immediately what happens is you have a church shooting.
Yeah.
That was broadcast live.
Yeah. Can't handle it live, but you definitely can't handle it when you're not alive.
6 seconds. And did you see all of the handguns being pulled out of, like...
I'm glad they didn't all go off.
8 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, there's another reason to change some tests. I think we will. We'll do some different things this year. So that'll be new probably starting next week. We'll get those answers. We appreciate those questions. And sometimes we don't get back right away because both of us are crazy here. Other than that, different testing. We'll probably go back over to some of the guns we've done before, because now we've done a couple hundred of these, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, so it's time to change.
And we're going to look at getting that back on target. So get on target in the first shot, but then looking at that second shot and how easy it is to recover with a gun and reshoot. We might actually be adding the Mantis into the mix as far as for testing. So that would allow us to test it and see where that is. We don't do a draw from holster, and that's fine.
Well, the problem we don't do draw from holsters. We could if we had the holsters, but we don't have them for all the guns.
Yeah, it's bad enough coming up with all the guns.
Yeah, we could do it, but what we'll do, I think we'll just probably draw from the side.
Right.
So we'll hold the gun down and for the defensive guns, and we'll do a draw that way, and we'll try to keep a time on it. It's getting back to this grip thing, which we're going to announce this year.
Yeah.
But other than that, it gets back to.
But I'm going to show this because this device. I mean, if you haven't heard of Mantis, it's really cool. So this was the first one they came out with, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
A long time. Well, maybe that long.
And it still works. They still upgraded the software. They introduced this as a Mantis. This is the 10, and this then also monitors recoil and does a bunch of other things as well. So we add this in the mix, and this has a quick disconnect. Whoa! Hey, you're flying over there. Has a quick disconnect.
Launch.
So you put this down and it slides right on versus the screw type that the older one had. I really love this device. It's easy to use. It's
now
awesome.
we haven't ran that on one of our laser guns yet, which we want to.
We have not, no. And it'll work with dry fire. It will work with live fire.
Yeah, so that's going to be neat. So the whole goal is to make it more realistic. And how a gun feels at the beginning it doesn't mean you can't, if you don't shoot it as good the first time, it doesn't mean you can't learn it, but then you're learning something that doesn't feel natural at the beginning. So a lot of times we look at guns, sometimes they just shoot better the first time, and that's just because maybe they fit you better, and there's a handle difference, or the grip changes. And
so what's the new gun? It's a name that's sort of like the 43 and sort of like the 365, sorry. There's a new one.
The new 365 or the new Glock?
There's a new Glock, there's a new 365, but there's another gun that's in that category now. Everybody's been asking us to
You don't know what manufacturer it is?
I can't remember. All of a sudden, it's a name.
Oh, the Hellcat?
Hellcat, yeah.
Yeah, I saw some reviews on now.
Here's the problem. So everybody's like, oh, review it.
Yeah.
Cool, get us one. And this is a
Yeah.
pretty decent sized store
Yeah.
can't get them. If you can't get a gun, that leads to some of the issues of saying how to review it.
And sometimes how you can get a gun is you're reviewing it for the manufacturer, and they supply the guns, but then of course it's not the same kind of review we want to do.
No, they send all the guns out, they build the hype on it,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I want it, but it's not even available.
Yeah.
So what's that tell you about their manufacturing? So until a product's in our hand, and remember, we're not getting sent these guns when we do the reviews here.
Yeah, we
They're
don't get
either
paid
guns
from the
we've
manufacturer.
bought, the store has, or they're in the range. So there's no, we're not on us to make it good for them. So
Correct. We're just going to go out with what it is. So I think we'll continue to we'll try to get more out as quick as we can. But you're right. If we can't get the gun, and I think another category we'll have is track record.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to put that in as and not just necessarily reliability, because
Right.
that's just what we shot then. But track records make a big difference. And you and I have talked about, history of companies and stuff like that. We talked about tires before. You like yours, I like mine. We all have our brands we like.
yeah.
But they're all top-notch companies. Some, some may be better in the rocks, some might be better on the highway. But you just find your niche and what you're willing to pay. And the same thing we want to do with these guns. The value of the used guns, is it worth buying? So maybe that's how it's going to change. There'll be less categories, and it'll be a little faster so we can get through these quicker, and we'll do more.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to do more often than we did before. That'd be cool.
more
We haven't figured out yet what we're going to use for the scoring. You want to, what we're not using thumbs. We're not going to use this. I mean, we're not going to use all these things you can think of. Whoa! I almost slipped off here.
Don't hurt yourself.
You can tell it's wet outside, huh? That's what happens when you're over 20.
Old guy.
But so I think we're going to come up with a new way of what we're going to do for this.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. Next week will be the dial-in time, and then we'll hear all the whatever we want to hear, and we'll get back on those notes for everybody. And then some differences in our classes. We're really happy with how they're going right now. We appreciate everybody that comes in and wants to train some different ways. Our shop down in Tucson has electronic Milo, which is really cool, especially now with these scenarios people are talking about. Something to check out if you're in that area.
Right.
If you're up here, we don't have the electronics, but we have the regular range.
A live fire range.
We have a live fire range, and we'd be happy to help you. And they have most of our schedules and stuff are inside the range or at the front desk. And then they can always get a hold of me if there's questions on certain kind of classes.
We're past the holiday weirdness, so
It's over
don't worry
with.
about schedule.
We'll go back into the time we go to the show.
That's right.
The funny thing, I'm just going to bring up one thing, and then because I know we'll bring this up before the show, what we're looking for at the show. I've already went on out on a limb, but I finally get a couple notes the last couple of days. Coat come out with their Python.
Oh.
Did you
Here
see
we go.
that?
No, I did not.
So it's already started. And you were talking to me
I
about
did see the Ruger 57.
and the Ruger 5.57 by yeah.
so this might be the year of the quirky guns.
Well, it's funny. If we get that in here, we can compare it to a 5.7.
Yeah, yeah.
Because 5.7 has, of course, a track record and the hype for the last 10 years or something.
Something like that.
A long time.
Yeah.
But here's another gun coming in that we like the company, and it'll be a 20 rounder, and it's going to compete with it. I mean, it's half price.
Right.
So we'll find out.
Half the price.
Half the price.
Crazy.
So anyway, well, it'll be fun this year.
Very cool.
There's a lot of training, a lot of different guns, specialty guns. You notice they're starting to fall into their little niches now.
That's why I said the quirky guns. So
Yes.
maybe I mean specialty guns. So maybe it's the year of the specialty gun.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
see.
it is, but it sounds like it'll be. We love the caliber.
Cool. Hey, make sure you're checking out thehubaz.com.
Yes.
Check out the Facebook page and the Instagram as well. Let us know what you like and what you would like to see. And
Yeah, are you
we'll
going
get
to
to that.
you doing things at the show live? Or you normally
Well,
do
I'll have
Birdman,
stuff
right?
live at the show, not breakfast. Breakfast was too hard. We'll do an afternoon live show each day at the show from the suite, the Birdman Media Suite up there. And we'll be down on the floor and capturing stuff.
Now-
And obviously, we won't be handling guns live, but
So in the Birdman suite, is that like a nest?
yeah, the bird nest, right? Well, there's the bird nest within the Birdman Suite, so Birdman Media Suite.
We'll see it. It'll be fun.
Hey, I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce.
Was that too fast for you?
Yes.
Oh,
Try it
sorry.
again.
Hey, I'm Birdman.
I'm Bruce. Be safe. This is early for the snow. If it wasn't the snow, it wouldn't be bad.
If it weren't for the snow, would it be bad?
It would. We've had some snow, but anyway, we need to tell everybody thank you for last year.
Hey, thanks for
This is our first-
subscribing. Thanks for all the comments here recently.
One we didn't get back to.
Yeah, we need to get back to a few of them. I got to tell Bruce what they are. So hey,
Yes.
we'll be catching up on those next week.
Yeah, and catching up, and everything's new. So New Year's.
Cool.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.